So we started NEAR.ai as a separate organization that's really focused on how do we build truly open AI, right? How do we focus on this user-owned AI concept, and what is the different pieces and infrastructure needed, as well as there's a lot of people building in the ecosystem, both in Web3 and outside in open source. How do we really bring all of these pieces together for a coherent picture that everybody can use? Next slide. And so effectively, there's three components of this vision, right? So one is on the research side. It's really important that we have a way to coordinate open source researchers in such a way that they're able to do kind of development and research and novel models and novel architectures and specialized models, and are rewarded for that. But also these models themselves are actually monetizable. And so one of the things that NEAR.ai is coordinating is really creating an infrastructure using trusted execution environments where the models can be trained and used, and the training code and data are open source. The work is done by open source researchers, but the outcome is encrypted weights that can be now used only inside TEs as well. And that allows to have this model where people can effectively, this trained model is now requires a micropayment every time it's used. Very similar how, if you use some API, you pay already for, every million tokens. And that actually creates a revenue stream that pays back the researchers and capital allocators who contributed to building this model. So really creating this framework, and again, attracting different researchers who right now may be sitting on sidelines because they don't have access to compute, because there is no way for them to create economic model. Now, this itself, is packaged into AI assistant, right? So again, the idea here is how do we create an interface that, potentially different people can develop an AI assistant, and it can be plugged into all of the different places where, we expect people going to be using AI assistant from. Over time, there's going to become more and more super app like platforms that AI assistant allowing to do more and more things through. Finally, this AI assistants, built on top of user-owned AI, are going to be coordinating different agents that actually do different work, right? So your AI assistant is more of a kind of your coordinator, and then it's like, oh, you want to do travel? Okay, let's call the travel agent. You want to do, do transaction on base? Let's call whatever build transaction builder that bit to build, right? So you have all of those different kind of coordination protocols.